Hey everyone, thanks for joining me for Wow Me Wednesday for my public speaking tips of the week. Have you ever had to give a presentation with someone else or maybe with a group, whether it's for work, for a class, maybe for an award ceremony, or even on camera? And for some of you, it might feel awkward because if you're not the only person talking, then what do you do when the other person is presenting? Do you look at him or her? Do you look at the audience? Do you stand there and look at your notes? What do you do? A client of mine recently asked me to work with her on that because she was presenting an award at a ceremony gala event. And she asked me just those things. I don't know if I should look at him while he's talking. How do I stand? What do I do to interact with the audience? So I thought that I could share my tips from my several years of experience co-anchoring the news and also co-emceeing events with you that I had shared with her as well, in case you have a presentation like this coming up. So the very first and most important thing you want to remember is to treat the presentation as a three-way conversation. So you're the first part of this conversation, your co-presenter is the second part of the conversation, and then the audience, whether it's a live audience or the camera, is the third person in the conversation. So just like you would if you were actually conversing with friends, wouldn't you acknowledge everyone in the conversation? Do the same in a presentation. So for my client's situation, I had recommended to her, while your co-presenter is talking, go ahead and look at him, but also look at the audience too and acknowledge them. So here's a little rule for you that you could follow. About 70 to 80% of the time, look at your co-presenter and you're listening intently to what he or she has to say. And then 20 to 30% of the time, look at your audience, whether it's a live audience or the camera. You're acknowledging them, that they're part of your conversation. And if it's in front of a live audience, really take the opportunity. This is a great chance for you to read the audience. Look at their expressions. How are they reacting to your co-presenter? This is a good chance for you to find people in the audience who are really engaged and they're laughing or they're nodding and they're making eye contact. Or if you're reading the audience, maybe for a work presentation, and they're dozing off or they look very straight-faced and not very interested, it could be your chance when it's your turn to liven things up, to maybe start your segment of the presentation with a question or some kind of joke to break the ice and loosen up the mood, right? So also to answer the question, how do you stand? I tend to stand, I'll step back so you can see, with my hands folded down here while I'm listening to my co-presenter. You want to make sure that it's comfortable for you, however you're standing, while not looking sloppy or arrogant. You know, you don't want to stand with your hands on your hips and it looks like you're maybe being condescending towards the audience or the presenter, the co-presenter. You can also, if you feel comfortable, stand with your hands on your side. I kind of find that awkward, so I prefer this. Or if you have notes, then you can definitely hold them right here, hold them comfortably. That way you could even look at your co-presenter, your audience, and sometimes just glance down at your notes if you need to review something real quickly. So to review for you, the main important tip is to think of it as a three-way conversation. About 70 to 80% of the time looking at your co-presenter and 20 to 30% of the time looking at your audience, whether it's live people in front of you or the camera. If you're presenting in a group, maybe it's 2, 3, 4 of you or more than 2 of you, then consider looking still at just the person talking and the audience. You don't have to look at your co-presenters who aren't talking, right? That would seem kind of awkward. So focus on three-way conversation, the person who's talking as well as the audience. So I hope that was helpful for you guys tonight in case you have a presentation like this coming up. And if you have suggestions, tips of your own, questions, please leave them in the comments below. Or you could go to my website, jessicachangconsulting.com. Leave me your email address so we can keep in touch. Send me your questions that way. Thanks so much, and I look forward to seeing you next week.